vois plus j'y ai.
Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me today. I am going to uninstall my Faux and hopefully do them within a couple weeks, but right now I need to just take it down, reset, and be myself. Whether, I just gotta wear my fro for a little bit. So I know everybody's liking this, and I will, when I install it back, I will record. It is, the longer it's in, honestly, the prettier I feel it gets. I need a reset. I need to catch you guys up. I need to talk. So, all right, I'm gonna get into it. I'm just gonna start in the back. I already had taken some out. Thanks if you guys if you stayed even this long. Well, where do I start? Where do I start? My hair? Where do I start in life? So this is actually, I wrapped it with hair, but this is the first dread I have ever started in my hair. It's not as thick. I wrapped it so it's thicker because it started to thin. This is my wisdom lock, and I have a little one that I started over here. And when they start to, get thin in places, I take my son's hair that shedded, that came out, and I'll put it in my dreads. So I have their hair in these dreads. So I do have dreads, just 3. But yeah, let's just get into the chit chat. I'm being so vulnerable that it's crazy. It's not because, well, I mean, it's kind of because I don't have, I just feel that I've expressed this so much that I'm getting tired of it. I'm experiencing things I thought that I healed from, but I feel that I backslide in my responses. And so to catch you guys up, recently I had called out my abuser, a man who sexually assaulted me when I was 14. I did put 13, but now having memory of it and having to just really tell you guys out loud. My friends were 13. My birthday's in December, so whenever they were that age, I've always been a year older. So they graduated 8th grade at 13. I was again 14. So I just want to correct that narrative. I called him out, and his family he threatened defamation. And in my previous episode, I said just go through it, because they have to prove what's not true, what's false about what I was saying, when it's just my story. It's really, these things happen to me. And so I've just been trying to uncover my wounds, not really bring them up, but really explore why these things happen to me. And so I went to just the generational trauma of things that I thought I was just placed in that environment. But guys, I've been no contact with my mother for 4 years, and hearing from her because of this post has been really hard. She called me, and it's good that I can speak this, because I'm not going to share the conversation. I recorded it because I was already recording a video for you guys, and so I just was like, something about me was like, just don't turn it off. Just don't turn it off. And now I see, because gosh, what I've noticed with labeling, because I went down generational trauma thinking that's where I could find the accountability. If people are going to be people, so I'm just going to, it almost stopped me from saying everything today. I was like, I have my mother back, she's just changed, and I always expect certain things that I just don't get. And so talking to her after 4 years, I thought my no contact was it, that I healed, that I began my healing, that maybe it was just those wounds that I need to uncover to accept who she is. That's not it. That's not it at all. Yes, I mean, not at all. I am still going to explore therapy, going to explore, you know, my wounds from it. But the lack of accountability of expressing how abusive it was in the household, how my experiences, you know, to always have grown up in that situation of being called a liar, you're a liar, you're all this stuff that I thought that's just who I was. So I started living that way. I started uncovering things where I'm just like, I'm lying for no reason. In my past. So I uncovered that. I'm like, I'm grown. There's no need to just, and it wasn't like a big lie. It was just so people could mind their business. Like, oh, nothing's going on. Oh, I'm great. Instead of really uncovering my wounds. And I realized the things that she was telling me I was lying about, I was actually telling the truth. Even with the rape. So to catch you guys up, when it happened, a little after I was hypersexual, I started to lie. But she didn't make that easier. She didn't get me therapy. She didn't call the police. She really went off of what other people were saying as far as me dating. So that's what I heard my whole life. You were just dating. You were just dating these older niggas. Oops, I don't know if I can say that. I probably have to take that out. You were just dating these older men. And I'm just thinking, like, if my sister came to me now, was like, I'm dating such and such, and I'm looking at I absolutely would call the police. I would not ask what, I would call the police. Don't come to me with your secrets, you know? And so I realized, wow, there's lack of accountability still there. Guys, to talk to my mom again after 4 years and just realizing how much she made it about her, how he you know, this coming up, and you know, first she questioned, was it rape? Because it's, you know, assault. Is it really rape? Yeah, it is. And there was 2 men. So you mean the men you were dating? She still tried to convince me of my own truth, of how much of those moments I didn't want. And I'm like, gosh, that's what I had to hear. That's what the 13-year-old, as I'm protecting the 13-year-old me, I'm like, she's gaslighting me. She is gaslighting me. Started crying. And I'm like, you're crying because I've had no contact with her for 4 years. So she's hurt about her not seeing her eldest grandson, and she just starts crying. You took him away from me because you took him away. In that moment still made it, you know, about what she felt. It's like, you hated me. I don't hate my mom. No one, I don't hate anyone. I don't have a hateful heart. I just questioned the parenting. That's it. And I don't know if she's a narcissist, but that sounds very narcissistic. I don't know if that's like, you know, like, I don't know. I heard her differently. And my response, I got upset, and I'm like, this is not healing. I'm not healing. I'm backsliding. I said if I would talk to her again after 4 years, these were my intentions. We were gonna, like, hug it out. We were gonna get therapy together. We were gonna go through a different journey together. But I didn't get that. So it almost silenced my story of actually just telling more of what she did, because then she goes on to say she feels like a child abuser because of my podcast. And it's like, now that I go back and even hear it, she was. And That's why, you know, therapy is scary in the Black community, because I feel like, you know, oh, you can't tell, don't tell too much. It happens in the house. Don't what's in the house stays in the house. And that's why kids never get help protecting their abuser. And you know what's so crazy, the similarities is God told me that what she's going to do before she did it. He revealed to me. And my abuser tried to silence me. Oh, I'm going to sue you. And then she goes and tries to silence me by telling me to take my podcast down. And she threatened without threatening. That she said, because I'll have to do something. I'll have to do deaf. I heard deaf. So I take it she saw my TikTok and she's defamation. No one knows who my mom is. If she stays quiet, no one's gonna know who she is. But to just gaslight, does anybody, I don't know, let me know in the comments if anybody has dealt with a narcissistic mother, if this is gaslighting, am I using the wrong words, is it really just me? Like, I will accept it in the kindest way if you guys can let me know. Maybe it's me. But so after 4 years, I've just decided now, I'm like, I have to stay no contact, because it literally has just put me down. I feel gross again. I'm like, one abuser says that, another abuser says that, to try to silence it. This is why so long I've been silenced. This is why it was because no one believed me. Everybody wanted to push their own thing down so I couldn't live my life. No, I even said that on TikTok, and I didn't even realize until going back and looking at it that I'm no longer taking accountability for when I was a child. I will take accountability from when I got older. Yes. There's many things that and even in those situations of running away, of all those situations, because she wanted me to correct that I wasn't homeless and ran away and people are threatening her. Guys, don't go and threaten her. I don't know how you would, but you know, it's just a conversation starter and just really just me. I'm just being honest here. And I'm just like, when your abusers are threatening defamation, they totally have to prove what you're lying about. What's the lie? And the fact that going through all this and meeting people that I've crossed paths with just like once before when I was 13, 14, everybody witnessed that. And I'm just like, they're like, yeah, I remember seeing your mom, you know, what? And nobody called the police. Like nowadays, those are charges. Those are charges. I would totally, if I did a little bit of what I did, what she did I would be in jail if I did that to my child, any of my children, you know. One, my husband just is not, we're not about that life. He ain't hitting them, I ain't hitting them. But, you know, it's just crazy to experience trying to be quiet again in my almost 30s. It's like, I'm not being quiet. That only makes me, again, want to be louder. It only makes me want to be louder, because what's happening is, it's my testimony. All the hurt, all the silence, all the crying I didn't get to do, I'm doing now. And man, it just sucks that they're a part of that story. But that's just, if you didn't want me to have this story in my adulthood, then why do that? Why do that? And then it's kind of like an abuse. Shh, don't tell anybody. No, I'm done. I'm done with that, because it makes me feel gross. It's wanting me to take my hair down now. Like, I just need to let water hit my scalp. I feel gross. Not talking to her, and then just, she goes on to tell me about her assaults, which I'm here for. Report them. But to just go on and pick that moment to tell me molested 3 times when I was 14. That's what you decide to express to me? I can't even hear the hurt. I just hear the one up me. Like, not only was I molested all these times, And it's like, I can't even, it just made me feel like I did back then, just stuck. Like, what do you want me to do with that? What? Because I don't want to be how my abuser's daughters are being, like, oh, he couldn't have done. I think it's something that you need to face. I think that it was wrong to tell your daughter or a child, like, I think it's wrong to express to your children things like that, whether, no matter how old they get, until you get therapy, until you know of a way to express it and have a mediator to mediate that, because there's some stuff that she even needs mediated from her own mom. And it's crazy because it's like, what? Right now is the moment you are picking to tell me that? Like, I couldn't, and that's why I made that post. I had to make I had to laugh at something that was just hurting inside. Because that's not my story. My dad's never did anything to me, my sisters, you know. But if that is her story, then that's just a wild one. But to express that after, like, what I'm going through now, and if any of my children got older and was like, that happened to me, I'm not gonna burst out what's happening to me now. I will explain that the steps that I took, but I wouldn't put that on. It wasn't the moment to do that, because it just further confirmed, wow, I need no contact. I can't parent anymore, and I just can't do it. I can't do it. So that's out there. Like, I'm just telling the world. And I'm not being silenced. I don't have a mother. I don't have a mother figure. I don't have none of that. I'm grown, and I'll work it out with a therapist. Which, guys, I start next week. So I'm thankful for that. And it's actually, I have to work with a trauma specialist. Because what I went through was trauma, and I have to sit in that. It's not normal to treat your kids that way. They jamming outside. Sorry. But anyway, going no contact, hearing all that, you can only imagine how I'm feeling. And then, you know, my brother, which is great. This, you know, nobody knows. I'm not expressing their names. I'm only expressing what's going on. And if you don't want it out there, then don't talk to me. Because I'm not doing this anymore. And he contacts me and, like, stop with the social media stuff. First he asked me nicely, but then it just went all bad. It's like, the fact that they're staying together, and the fact he doesn't even realize he's staying with his abuser, is crazy to me. It's wild to say that she nurtured you as a child. Like, you really see how people will gaslight you into believing their own narrative. If that's what you want to believe, that's fine. You go tell a therapist that, and we can see if I'm wrong or if I'm just crazy and remembering a movie. Or no, she was crazy, and crazy in front of so many people, which is, it embarrassed me at the time, but now it's like, okay, cool, that works, because if she really came for me and wanted me to take all this down, if it's not, that's why I'm being so loud before it comes down. If she is just like, God already revealed to me that she'll probably do something along the lines of screaming defamation, and it's like, wow, we would have to go through that, and then you would have to really hear all the witnesses, tell you how bad of parenting you was doing. But trying to keep on the hush hush. Because you bought me stuff. Yeah, don't get me wrong, guys. I mean, I went to school dressed, not fly. Like, I didn't always have the new Jordans or whatever. When the Carmelos came out, like, I really was like crying for them. She made sure that happened. That's another gaslight, because it's like, yeah, she got them for me. She did all this. But then, like, if I needed, like, you know, I had the essentials. She was really good at shopping just because she loves shopping. Really good at buying me things. But I felt like that too is just a cover up. It wasn't. It's like, you buy me things, and then I always, when I was younger, would expect the meanness to come right after. It's like she resented that she had to go shopping for me. I got my hair done because my aunt's best friend was a hairdresser, and you know, I was like well kept. But then hearing from all the people that I grew up with, I was like always hungry. I was always outside. And I'm just thinking, like, my son is not going to be outside wandering hungry. And I tried to put it on what she was going through, and maybe she just looked over stuff. But I'm just like, to hear the lack of accountability today, what did we learn in the last 4 years? What did I really, I mean, in the last really year I started healing, but what, there was nothing learned in the last 4 years. She just got more mad at me, it seems like. It really seems like my mother and brother hate me. And I know they love me. And it may seem like I hate them. I don't. It's just me exploring really what I went through. And my brother just tried. I was nurtured, and no, I don't. I'm taking that narrative because it's just to protect, again, my abuser. It sucks to say your mother abused you. It sucks to own those words. But if I would have got a phone call along the lines like, I really did abuse you, that's how you feel, and what you went through, I'm sorry. Because half the time she was drunk, so I don't think that she'll remember most of the abuse. But I can't take that. Like, you gotta remember what you do to your kids, because I remember, as a mom, and hearing this gaslighting, I can't do. And then I was called a narcissist, and it was just like going back and forth with my brother, and I'm like, I can't do it anymore. I can't do them. And it sucks. It really sucks. It really sucks. And that's where I'm at. It just sucks. Sucks to have. Sucks. And I'm sorry if this is TMI. I'm sorry if, again, my truth is going to hurt people, but this is my truth. And I'm so glad that it happened, though, the way it happened, because it needed to show me I'm not ready. I was over here thinking I'm ready. I'm like, when I talk to her, it's just gonna, but I can't be the only one changing. I can just continue to change and see who I need, who serves purpose in my life and who doesn't right now. And it sucks that I have to continue no contact. I have to continue no contact with both of them. And guys, I don't know, I can just go day by day and journal this, but to go no contact for 4 years and hoping that you're about to have something, and then only to go no contact again, it's like you kind of feel like you failed. Like, I should have just, I knew I should have waited. I knew better. And then so I asked my brother, him and my mom keep calling me a liar. You're lying, and that my husband doesn't know me, you know, stuff to fit their prerogative and narrative. And it's like, you can't live with someone for